Gutierrez. Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning, Chris and Sabrina.
Good
Thank you for
morning.
waking me up very early.
Very early. Yeah, you were ready way before we were.
We were we were
I,
walking in.
you
She
know,
was
when
already.
Chris, when Chris asked me, I said, "Okay," but it's part of the job
Just
that
like that.
goes as being a board member.
Right.
Yeah, just like that.
Miss Maria, let's just go ahead and start with the evaluation you guys had of the superintendent. He received a 4.9 out of 5, right? So let's just talk about that. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I have been on this board for so many years, and I have had the opportunity to, when they first started evaluating superintendent, and that was back in during Louis Reyes' time. And then I was not on the board at that time. I break in service when Mr. Juan Flores was a superintendent. Then it went on to Narissa, and when it went on to now with John Fernandez. But my justification in giving Mr. Fernandez the highest number is because he really is the longest superintendent for since with the previous superintendents, and they all did a good job. It's not an easy job to be a superintendent of education, because you're not only dealing with the employees, you're dealing with parents, and then you have a responsibility for the students. So if anyone out there says being a superintendent, excuse me, is easy, it is not. All the years I've seen, there's a lot of responsibility that are placed on the superintendent, especially having board members with different attitude, different expectation, uh, different opinion, everything. So that's how it is with superintendent.
Right.
And with me, I have observed Mr. Fernandez since he came in. I came in 2013. He was just starting his first year on the board as the superintendent of DOE, and he has a lot of things to do. And with the Department of Education, we have the 14 points that he has to comply with. I know that for the other, private school, charter school, they don't have to follow the 14 points. But if you have that 14 points and you don't have the funding to implement all of the 14 points, it's very hard. But he did his best.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
So
think
I observe him, and I'm very observant. I observe him. I read his report that he submits every month that for on a meeting, and then I do ask questions, and I do when there's something that I as one board member have issues, or I need clarification, or I need him to take a look at it, look into that. He we come to an agreement, although sometimes I don't really agree 100%, but that is it. That's a job. And we're policymakers where he handles with operational. And that's the difference is being a policymaker, you don't try to micromanage, you don't try to stick your nose into the operation of the department. And that's the responsibility of the superintendent. And that's what, and I counsel him. I didn't want to wait until it's time for evaluation for me to give him a number which he may have forgotten what was the mistake that he did or what was it. But I counsel him, and that's how I go forward.
I
And
think one of the things
he has really bring in the Department of Education. And remember, doing the responsibility is just not operating at the daily school day, daily work days, 365 days a week in a year, but during disaster, typhoon,
Right.
Mr. Fernandez out there going out to all the schools, making sure not only for the employees at the shelters, at the gym, but for the people that are there that are being sheltered.
Right, Miss Maria,
During
we totally support.
So that's my justification.
Right, yeah,
That
yeah,
I gave him
fine.
that
Yeah.
No, I was
My
going to
other
say that
colleagues.
I
So we
saw
gave
your
them
speech. I saw your speech during the Guam Education Board meeting when
so
you
and
were giving all the
that's the reason
accolades to him.
that we
Eh,
gave him an outstanding for this evaluation.
Right.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and what I appreciated was the fact that during your speech during the Guam Education Board meeting the other night was when you also acknowledged Mr. Fernandez for him getting us through or helping us through the COVID crisis and acknowledging the fact that he has a family at home as
Yes.
well and having to deal with not only worrying about his family but also worrying about how are we going to get through this pandemic.
Yeah, and also worrying about how we're going to get through this pandemic and get kids back to school in a way that's safe.
And he still is.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
And he has a good team. He has a good team behind him that supports him and work together. And we're still, we're still doing this up to now. We're, people are expecting us to. Asking when are we opening? When are we opening? We want to make sure, and one of the priorities of the board is safe and health, and health and safety of the schools, our kids. And there's still, we have this plan that they prepared. We approved the plan, but we gave them the flexibility to fix the plan and make it better. Because I was just on the NASB webinar yesterday, and a lot of the states are still pushing back their starting date because they're still trying to finalize their opening, because they're very worried because it's coming back in many of the states now. So for us here, let's pray that it will go away soon. And that's where the headache of the superintendent now and his management team, and they're all working really hard there. It's not an easy job for them because they want to make sure everyone is expecting that when their kids go back to school, especially those that are going in face to face, that the school is safety. The bus are the bus going to be sanitized, and the public work bus is under the school bus. The regular school bus is under public works. We have the special ed bus, so that's what the work is. But it's a lot of work, and we're all together in this, and we ask the community, the parents, to please help us. And I hear in the other media that parents said, why are they not going to sanitize, do the temperature check when the kids get into the bus? Why are they not going to be? Is somebody going to be at the bus? When the kids get off the bus, to help them to social distance and go home. So we ask the community. This is not only DOE, and I know even the private schools and the other schools are expecting this. This is the whole community. Everybody has to get together and be involved. It's not only the schools, whether it's public school or private school or church school. It's not only their job. It's
Right.
everybody's responsibility.
Right. Ms. Maria, let me interrupt here for a second, sir. So we have the road closure in Pago Bay, and there is actually an accident that's between Pago Bay and the light up there headed towards Ta'i. And if we can just pop that picture up. So that's what you guys are sitting in traffic for all my Jotnia Rules people. That's the deal. So what people are doing is they're hitting Pago Bay, U-turning, and then going through Pulantat and Menenga and coming out Leo Palace. So
Yeah, if you actually are driving by there and you have are there, give us a call at 637-0094. We got a call into the Guam Police Department. Just waiting for more information from Sergeant Paul Tapau to talk about the severity of this crash.
Madam Chair, I wanted to ask, so we have obviously the parents, there's some anxiety, stress about going back to school, whether it be the distance learning or face to face. But what about the GDOE employees and teachers who also maybe feel that when it's a regular school year, and it's sad reality, Miss Maria, is that people can't afford childcare or whatever, so kids might be sick. Some parents, the only option they have is to just send them to school anyway. So how would you address those concerns that GDOE employees might have about going back to school?
That's when we give the superintendent the flexibility to look over it, and I share their concern because although I'm only a grandmother and a great grandmother, but I also share that concern as a grandmother for those families that are worried, and so we gave that responsibility to the superintendent to make the best decision because we and our teachers are, although our teachers are under the GFT, but we have 100% in agreement with GFT that we're all in this together, and they've been very supportive. Our teachers are very supportive, still out there still attending trainings, even though they're on vacation and they're not getting paid because they're getting ready, but they're also worried, and we share the concern. So we gave that responsibility to the superintendent to make the best decision and work with GFP because they represent the teachers and support staff. But we also are concerned for them, and we will be very sensitive. And I know Superintendent Fernandez is very sensitive to those situation.
I did want to follow up on, Mr. Fernandez's outstanding performance. Does that come with a raise?
Pardon?
Is Mr. Fernandez going to be getting a raise as a result of his outstanding performance rating?
Right now, there's no discussion on that. He has up to. He has, Mr. Fernandez is a 4-year contract ends up June 2021. He under his employment contract, he has to inform the board by October 19, 2020, his intention to whether he wants to continue or leave us. So it's not right now. His main concern is the opening of the school and getting everything ready. So I wanted to discuss that with him yesterday, but I know that he has a lot in his plate. So I know we'll work on that, but we have not made that discussion yet.
Right. And and on the raise thing, I just got to say, like in this administration, people get huge raises with no justification at all. We've seen, they tried to give a $40,000 pay adjustment to somebody. So I don't have a problem with it. If, Superintendent Fernandez, I think he is doing an outstanding job. I think, he's got a great department. He's got great people behind him. So if you get an outstanding evaluation, then yeah, you should get a raise. I mean, it's common sense. But Miss Maria, I know that you said that he has to declare his intention to the board.
There are also other government employees that have had outstanding rating performances.
That's in his employment contract. That's the contract that we negotiated.
But they reinstated the salary increment. So.
Yeah,
and some of them aren't getting their raises. They're not even getting hazardous
2020, pay. He has to let us know his intention, whether he wants to continue or he has, he wants to just step down. But I know that his heart is with the Department of Education, especially the students. As a parent of 2 public school students, I know his heart is there. So, but I want to let him I know he's all of it. Right now is this opening of the school. Make sure that everything is ready. Make sure that our facilities, we have the equipment that we needed to get our school open. So I think that's what Mr. Fernandez's priority right now. I know, and he's that kind of person. He doesn't, never make that hint that, hey, I'm doing so good. Can I get a raise? No, he has never mentioned that. I commented that.
I would have been just
I know
like,
he's listening.
Why did you guys give me the extra 0.1? I mean, the 4.9, why not is it 5.0?
Round it off.
Who's the board member that brought that score down? That's what I want to know.
I'm not gonna tell you. It's gonna be on our website. So go look for it.
Okay.
All right,
Chris, you're very tricky. Don't try to get things out of that.
I ain't tricky. I'm just Chris.
No, you owe me when there's lemon there because I'm seeing you guys eating and you're making me hungry.
I'm gonna bring you some.
Just don't ask for the lemon cake.
So Ms. Maria,
on August 11th, just for your information, August 11th, we will be having a special meeting on the school readiness, whether we are all ready. That's the reason why we really moved back to August 17th.
Right.
Every year, this is what we do on the board. Is before the opening of the school, we have a school readiness meeting to make sure that we're ready, and so August 11, we decide that we will have a special meeting for him to report, and his recovery task force team. Are we all ready, and how many are going to be coming into the school face to face? How many are online? How many are traditional, because the parents are still deciding. Parents were given the option that they before, I mean, that they can make the changes. Because during our town hall meetings, that were some of the questions that the parents are bringing up, and the assurance. And it's hard to assure everybody that this will be this safety, because we don't know this COVID-19 pandemic situation, but we're doing our best. So we want to make sure that the schools are ready, and that's what superintendent is doing right now. And I know that you want him to be on this show, but he still has these early meetings with his task force. In fact, right now they're on their own Zoom meeting.
Right.
So we want to make sure, we want to assure the parents of the public school system that we're doing our best. And I'm sure that the other schools too, private schools, Catholic schools, church schools, are doing the best. So we just need to be together. We need to help one another. We cannot say it's your responsibility. No, it's all our responsibility, all of us here.
Right.
And we get our guidance from CDC, and we got the support. We got the support of the governor and the lieutenant governor, and I want to personally thank them for being supportive to the Department of Education. The lieutenant governor has been in touch with the superintendent as being tasked to work with the DOE. So I just want to send that out a message to both the governor and the lieutenant governor, that Sidus Masi, for your continued support, and we look forward to working with everybody. But this is a time when we all have to come together. Families, please, there's the guideline, and the schools are reaching out to all of you. If you have not registered your child, the option that you want, please reach out to your school, because sometimes I'm hearing the principal said that the numbers that was at the school for that family are no longer in service. So we need to reach out to the school, so you could give the school the option of which option your kids going to do. But we're doing our best, and our superintendent is also. The meals are being asked about food. Can they be delivered to the home? The kids that are going to be staying home and doing their schoolwork. The superintendent is working with his team. So
okay.
I just ask the cooperation of everybody, and thank you, please, and Sabina, for helping us out too, because we need to put out the message to everyone. This is together.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, Ms. Maria. And I know superintendent's busy. Yes, we did ask to get him on, and we've got the commitment. He's going to restart his weekly Wednesday commitment with us next week. So we will be having the soup on. And Miss Maria, we're going to let you go because we got Juan Flores from the Catholic schools, but we just definitely love having you on.
Also a former GTOE
Right, yeah. I don't know if he ever got a 4.9 rating, though. We'll ask him.
Thank you, Sabrina.
All right, you take care.
Thank you, Miss Maria.
Thank
okay,
you.
yes.
Real quickly, an update on that accident in